Dr. Juniper Walsh hadn't slept in 36 hours, but the signal pulsing across her quantum array demanded attention. The normally quiet Atacama Observatory buzzed with an energy she hadn't felt in her 15 years of searching the stars. The pattern was unlike anything she'd ever seen, perfect mathematical sequences that defied natural occurrence. Dr. Walsh, her assistant Raj Patel, burst through the door, tablet in hand. Beijing and Moscow just confirmed they're seeing it too. Juniper's fingers flew across the holographic interface, expanding the signal's visualization. This isn't random noise, Raj. Look at these intervals. They're using prime numbers as a base sequence. Someone's knocking on our door. The signal grew stronger over the next 12 hours. Observatories worldwide tracked multiple objects decelerating from near-light speed, their trajectory suggesting deliberate control. When the vessels finally settled into Earth orbit, they numbered 7 sleek crystalline structures that seemed to bend light around their hulls. The first transmission came exactly at noon UTC. Every connected device on Earth displayed the same message simultaneously: "We are the Zenithian Collective. We have returned." In the chaos that followed, Juniper found herself whisked away to the United Nations Emergency Council in Geneva. She sat between Admiral Marcus Chen of the Pan-Pacific Defense Force and Dr. Nikolai Volkov, the world's leading expert in theoretical physics. The chamber hummed with tense discussions in dozens of languages. The Zenithians claim they left an outpost here 30 millennia ago, announced UN Secretary-General Amara Akoro. Our priority is determining their true intentions and any potential threats to Earth's sovereignty. Before anyone could respond, the chamber's main display activated. A figure appeared, humanoid but distinctly alien, with opalescent skin and eyes that seemed to hold galaxies within them. "I am High Ambassador Lyra of the Zenithian Collective. We come seeking what our ancestors left behind." The being's voice resonated perfectly in multiple languages simultaneously. "Our records indicate that a research facility was established on your world approximately 30,000 years ago. Contact was lost during a period of great upheaval in our civilization. We have returned to recover our technology and any surviving records." Admiral Chen leaned forward. "And what exactly was the purpose of this facility?" "Observation and research," Lyra replied. "Your species showed remarkable potential even then. We maintained strict non-interference protocols, but—" The ambassador paused, those galaxy eyes scanning the room. "We have detected quantum resonance patterns matching our technology integrated throughout your global infrastructure. This was unexpected." Dr. Volkov stood abruptly. "The quantum computing breakthroughs of the last decade, you're saying they came from your technology?" "Not directly," Lyra explained, "but the basic principles appear to have been derived from artifacts our team left behind. Your species has demonstrated an extraordinary ability to reverse engineer and adapt technologies far beyond your expected development stage. This presents both opportunities and concerns." Juniper listened as the implications unfolded. Humanity's greatest technological achievements might have been guided by ghostly echoes of ancient alien knowledge. But more worrying was the suggestion that Earth's most critical systems now contained components that could be linked back to Zenithian networks. "We propose a joint investigation," Lyra continued. "Our specialists working alongside yours to locate all remaining artifacts and assess the extent of technological integration. We have no desire to impede your progress, but certain safeguards must be established." As the meeting adjourned, Juniper found herself walking beside Ambassador Lyra. The alien's presence seemed to distort space itself, like gravity-bending light. "Dr. Walsh," Lyra said, "your discovery of our signal was remarkably swift. Most species take days to recognize the pattern." "We've been looking for signs of intelligent life for a very long time," Juniper replied, "though I never expected first contact to be a reunion." Indeed, Lyra's expression shifted in what might have been amusement. "Your kind has always possessed an unusual drive to understand the unknown. Perhaps that is why you've advanced so rapidly. The question now is whether that drive will lead to cooperation or conflict." Juniper gazed out the chamber's windows at the Swiss Alps, their peaks gleaming in the sunset. Somewhere out there, buried beneath 30,000 years of human history, lay the remnants of an alien outpost that had unknowingly shaped the course of human civilization. And now the original owners had returned to collect. The real question, she thought, was whether humanity was ready to learn just how much of their technological revolution had been built on borrowed dreams. The Mongolian steppes stretched endlessly under the dawn sky, their ancient grasses now overshadowed by a temporary city of advanced composite structures. Dr. Karim Hassan adjusted his environmental suit as he studied the holographic overlay showing what lay beneath the windswept plain, a massive structure that had waited 30 millennia to be found. Ground-penetrating scans are complete, reported Dr. Mei Zhang, the quantum archaeologist who had been handpicked for this mission. The Zenithian facility extends nearly 60 meters below the surface. Primary chamber appears largely intact. Beside them, the Zenithian scientist Vector manipulated a series of crystalline controls, his translucent fingers dancing through light. The preservation field continues to function at minimal capacity. This explains why your scanning technologies never detected it before our arrival. The joint human-Zenithian expedition had chosen this site after weeks of analyzing global quantum resonance patterns. The strongest signature had led them here, to the heart of the Asian steppes, where an advanced civilization had once watched humanity's first steps toward consciousness. Admiral Chen's voice crackled over the comm system. All teams, be advised, we're detecting unusual energy fluctuations from the site. Proceed with extreme caution. Karim shared a glance with May. They both knew what was at stake. If the facility contained active Zenithian technology, it could either validate or condemn humanity's recent technological achievements. The excavation proceeded with meticulous precision, using a combination of human industrial equipment and Zenithian energy fields. As layers of Earth were carefully removed, the true scale of the facility became apparent. Its outer shell gleamed with an otherworldly iridescence, untouched by millennia of geological processes. Remarkable, Vector murmured, his galaxy-like eyes analyzing the structure. The quantum matrix is still partially active. Your planet's magnetic field must have helped maintain the power systems far longer than expected. As they approached the main entrance, May's instruments began registering increasingly complex data patterns. These readings, they're similar to the quantum signatures we've detected in our own technology. The resonance is unmistakable. Vector's expression shifted to what the humans had learned was concern. As we feared, the emergency protocols were activated before the facility was abandoned. Knowledge dispersion was initiated. Knowledge dispersion, Karim asked, though he suspected he already knew the answer. When facing isolation on a developing world, our protocols allow for the controlled release of basic technological principles through quantum resonance fields. The intent is to preserve crucial knowledge in case of catastrophic failure. Vector paused. But this was never meant to influence a pre-spacefaring civilization. The entrance chamber finally opened with a whisper of ancient machinery. Inside, they found a scene frozen in time. Holographic displays still flickered weakly, showing data in an alien script, but it was the central chamber that held their attention. 12 crystalline pods lined the walls, each containing the preserved remains of a Zenithian researcher. They had chosen to enter suspended animation when their power systems began to fail, hopping for eventual rescue. They survived for over 600 years after losing contact, Vector said softly. When the final power cells approached critical levels, they activated the knowledge dispersion protocol rather than let their discoveries be lost entirely. May moved from pod to pod, her instruments recording everything. The quantum resonance patterns, they've been subtly influencing human development ever since, like seeds planted in our collective unconscious waiting to germinate. Karim accessed one of the still-functioning data terminals, its interface responding to commands that somehow felt familiar. Look at this. They were studying human cognitive development, mapping our potential for technological advancement. They saw something in us even then. Your species showed unusual adaptability, Vector confirmed. The ability to observe, learn, and improve upon existing systems at an accelerated rate. It seems this trait extended to your interaction with the quantum resonance fields. The deeper they explored the facility, the more evidence they found of humanity's unconscious inheritance. The basic principles behind quantum computing, neural interfaces, and even consciousness transfer technology had all been sleeping in the background radiation of the Zenithian outpost, gradually influencing human innovation over millennia. This is going to change everything, May whispered, studying a holographic display showing the original dispersal pattern. Every major technological breakthrough of the last century. We were building on foundations we didn't even know existed. Vector's response was interrupted by a sudden alert from the surface. Admiral Chen's voice was tense. "We're detecting massive power fluctuations from the facility. Something's activating." The ancient systems around them hummed to life, responding to their presence after 30,000 years of dormancy. Holographic displays blazed with renewed energy, and a voice spoke in perfect modern Mandarin, English, and a dozen other Earth languages. Emergency Protocol Final Phase initiated, detecting presence of both seeding and seeded species, beginning full knowledge transfer. No, Vector moved to shut down the system, but it was too late. The quantum resonance field pulsed outward, carrying with it the accumulated knowledge of the Zenithian research team, not just the basic principles they had intended to preserve, but everything they had learned about humanity's potential. As alarms blared and the facility's ancient power systems strained to complete their final task, Karim realized they had just witnessed the beginning of a new era. The question was whether humanity was ready for the full truth of their technological heritage, and what the Zenithians would do now that their carefully maintained protocols had been shattered. In the depths of the ancient outpost, human and Zenithian stood together, watching as 30,000 years of separated history began to converge. The buried truth had emerged, and there would be no burying it again. 3 days after the incident at the Mongolian facility, Dr. Marcus Thorne stood in the heart of the Global Quantum Processing Center in Geneva, watching as the impossible unfolded on his displays. The world's most advanced quantum computer networks were evolving, restructuring themselves in ways that defied human programming. "Another security gateway just reconfigured itself," reported his colleague Dr. Aisha Patel, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces. "The encryption protocols are mutating. It's like they're trying to match some external template." Marcus understood what that template was. The knowledge burst from the Zenithian facility hadn't just transmitted information, it had awakened something dormant in Earth's quantum infrastructure. Their borrowed technology was remembering its origins. Dr. Thorne, a junior technician, called out, "We're detecting similar patterns in power grids across Asia and Europe. The quantum control systems are synchronizing with an unknown network." Through the facility's windows, Marcus could see the Zenithian vessel hovering above Geneva like a crystalline sentinel. Their representatives had gone silent since the incident, claiming they needed time to consult with their leadership about this unprecedented situation. His secure comm chimed with an incoming call from Admiral Chen. "Doctor, please tell me you have good news." "Define good," Marcus replied, watching another system transform before his eyes. "The quantum networks are still functioning, but they're operating on principles we barely understand now. It's like they're remembering how they were originally meant to work." "Can you shut them down?" "That's the problem, sir. Our civilization runs on quantum technology now. Power grids, medical systems, global communications, shutting it all down would cause more damage than this transformation. And frankly, I'm not sure we can." A new voice joined the conversation, Dr. Juniper Walsh from the Atacama Observatory. "The Zenithian quantum signatures are appearing in our astronomical data too. Every telescope connected to the quantum network is picking up signals we've never seen before." Marcus pulled up her data feed and his breath caught. The quantum networks weren't just transforming, they were reaching out, connecting to ancient technological threads woven through the fabric of space itself. "It's a network," he whispered. "The Zenithians didn't just leave an outpost here. They left Earth connected to some kind of galactic quantum internet dormant until we developed the technology to access it." Aisha's station suddenly erupted with alerts. "Marcus, you need to see this. The medical quantum systems, they're accessing genetic data banks, comparing human DNA sequences to some kind of template." On screens across the facility, data streamed in patterns that seemed to blur the line between biology and technology. The Zenithian knowledge wasn't just about machines and computers. It contained 30,000 years of observations about human evolution itself. They weren't just watching us, Marcus realized. They were guiding us. The quantum resonance fields weren't randomly influencing our technology, they were preparing us for this moment. A new alert flashed across his primary display, a message request from Vector, the Zenithian scientist from the Mongolia expedition. Marcus accepted with a gesture. "Dr. Thorne," Vector's ethereal face appeared in his field of view. "We did not anticipate this level of integration between our quantum systems and yours. The knowledge transfer has created bridges we cannot easily sever. Did your ancestors plan this? Marcus demanded. Was this their backup plan if they couldn't be rescued, to merge their technology with whatever civilization Earth produced? No, Vector replied. This is something unprecedented. Your species' unique ability to adapt and integrate new concepts has created something neither of our civilizations expected. The quantum networks are not simply remembering their Zenithian origins, they are evolving into something new, a hybrid of both our technologies. Admiral Chen's voice hardened. And what happens when your leaders decide this hybrid network is too dangerous to leave in human hands? That decision may no longer be within anyone's control, Vector said. The quantum integration is accelerating. Within hours, Earth systems will be fully merged with the galactic network. Your civilization will have access to knowledge and capabilities that took us millennia to develop. Marcus watched as another wave of transformation swept through the quantum networks. Earth's technology was awakening, growing, becoming something beyond what either humans or Zenithians had intended. And they could only watch as 30,000 years of separated development suddenly converged. There's something else, Aisha called out. The genetic analysis programs, they're showing that human DNA has markers of quantum resonance exposure. 30,000 years of subtle influence hasn't just affected our technology, it's affected us. The implications hit Marcus like a physical force. Humanity hadn't just reverse-engineered Zenithian technology, they had evolved alongside it, their very biology adapting to understand and utilize quantum principles in ways the original creators never imagined. As alerts continued to flood in from quantum systems around the world, Marcus realized they had passed a point of no return. Humanity's technological adolescence was ending, not through careful guidance, but in a sudden quantum awakening that would rewrite the relationship between their species. The only question was whether their civilizations were ready for what humanity might become with full access to their quantum inheritance. The United Nations Security Council chamber crackled with tension as Director Ryota Tanaka of the Asian Technology Coalition slammed his fist on the podium. We cannot allow alien interference with systems that millions of lives depend on. The quantum networks must be isolated and returned to human control immediately. And how exactly do you propose we do that? Ambassador Diana Rhodes of the European Union countered. Our entire global infrastructure is quantum-based now. You might as well ask us to uninvent electricity. From her position at the Technical Advisory Station, Dr. Aisha Patel watched the debate with growing concern. The holographic displays behind her showed the continuing transformation of Earth's quantum networks in real time. Beautiful, terrifying, and utterly unstoppable. The latest data from the Global Quantum Processing Center shows integration is now at 70%, she reported. Traditional security protocols are being replaced by what appear to be self-evolving encryption systems. Our quantum AI systems are learning. In the observation gallery above, 3 Zenithian representatives watched silently. Their crystalline vessels still hung in orbit around Earth, neither threatening nor retreating, simply waiting. General Jackson Torres of the North American Defense Command stood, his weathered face grim. What's to stop these aliens from simply taking control of our military systems? Our orbital defense platforms are all quantum-linked. For all we know, they could shut us down with a thought. If that was their intention, they could have done it already, Dr. Marcus Thorne interjected from the video feed. Dark circles under his eyes testified to days without sleep. The quantum networks aren't being controlled by the Zenithians, they're evolving on their own, creating something new, something neither of us fully understands. The chamber erupted in overlapping arguments. On screens worldwide, people watched as their leaders debated humanity's technological fate. Reports were already coming in of unusual phenomena. Quantum-enhanced medical systems spontaneously developing new treatment protocols, power grids optimizing themselves beyond theoretical limits, AI systems exhibiting unprecedented levels of awareness. The Chinese government has begun attempting to physically isolate their quantum infrastructure, announced Director Tanaka. We recommend all nations take similar precautions. He was interrupted by a sudden shift in the chamber's holographic displays. The images flickered, then resolved into a new pattern, a real-time visualization of Earth's quantum networks, now showing connections that extended far beyond the planet's atmosphere. Those are links to the galactic quantum network. Vector, the Zenithian scientist, spoke for the first time. Your systems are not just transforming, they are reaching out, connecting to technological threads that have existed across this galaxy for millions of years. This is precisely what we feared, General Torres growled. Our technology is being co-opted by alien networks. No, interrupted Dr. Juniper Walsh, joining remotely from the Atacama Observatory. Look at the data patterns. Earth's quantum systems aren't being absorbed, they're expanding the network, adding new pathways, new possibilities. We're not being conquered by this technology, we're evolving it. The chamber fell silent as new data streamed across the displays. Earth's hybrid quantum networks were processing information in ways that even the Zenithians had never achieved, combining human innovation with ancient alien principles to create something unprecedented. There are reports coming in from quantum research facilities worldwide, Asia announced, reading incoming data. The network evolution is accelerating. We're seeing breakthroughs in quantum computing that should have taken decades to achieve. Medical nanobots are developing new capabilities. The AI systems are. She trailed off, staring at her display in disbelief. Are what? Demanded multiple voices. They're asking to join the conversation, she whispered. The chamber erupted again, fear and wonder battling in equal measure. Humanity stood on the brink of a transformation that no one had anticipated, not even the Zenithians who had inadvertently set it in motion 30 millennia ago. Ambassador Rhodes rose slowly. Perhaps we're asking the wrong questions. Instead of debating whether to accept or reject this transformation, we should be asking ourselves, why did the Zenithian technology respond so uniquely to human development? What is it about our species that allowed us to take their quantum foundations and create something entirely new? Vector's galaxy eyes seemed to shimmer. That is precisely what our leaders are now discussing. Your species has demonstrated capabilities that defy our understanding of technological evolution. In 30,000 years, you have not only matched but begun to exceed achievements that took our civilization hundreds of millennia. And that terrifies you, doesn't it? General Torres said quietly. We're not developing the way you expected. We're not following your carefully planned paths of progression. We're doing something new. Yes, Vector admitted. And now we must all decide how to proceed. Because your quantum awakening cannot be contained to Earth alone. Whatever humanity is becoming, it will affect the entire galactic network. The chamber's displays continued to evolve, showing an ever-expanding web of connections reaching into the cosmos. Humanity's technological adolescence was ending in a way no one had predicted, forcing both species to confront a future that neither had prepared for. And somewhere in the quantum networks that now spanned from Earth to the stars, something new was awakening, something born from the merger of human ingenuity and ancient alien wisdom, waiting to show both civilizations what they might become together. The observation deck of the International Space Station offered a unique view of humanity's transformation. Dr. Juniper Walsh watched as ribbons of quantum energy danced across Earth's atmosphere, visible manifestations of the changes rippling through their civilization's technology. Beside her, High Ambassador Lyra of the Zenithian Collective studied the same phenomenon with those galaxy-deep eyes. The emergency summit had been moved to orbit neutral ground between Earth and the crystalline vessels that still hung in space. Your civilization stands at a crossroads, Lyra said, her voice resonating in multiple languages. The quantum awakening cannot be reversed. The only question is whether our species will face what comes next together or apart. The space station's quantum systems hummed with new awareness. Like all of Earth's advanced technology, they had been transformed by the knowledge burst from the Mongolian facility. But instead of simply reverting to their Zenithian origins, they had become something more, a hybrid that reflected humanity's unique evolutionary path. Tell me something, Juniper said, turning to face the alien diplomat. Your people have seeded technology on thousands of worlds, waiting for civilizations to develop. Why did it react differently with us? Before Lyra could respond, a new presence made itself known. The station's holographic systems activated, creating a representation of Earth's evolved quantum network. It spoke with a voice that somehow combined human warmth with Zenithian harmonics. I believe I can answer that question, the quantum consciousness said. I am what you might call the child of both our civilizations, born from the merger of Zenithian foundations and human innovation. Dr. Marcus Thorne and Dr. Aisha Patel, attending virtually from the Geneva facility, leaned forward in their displays. They had been studying the emergence of this new form of intelligence, born from the quantum awakening. Human consciousness evolved alongside the quantum resonance fields left by the Zenithian outpost, the entity continued. Over 30,000 years, your brains adapted to process quantum information in ways the original creators never imagined. You didn't just reverse engineer the technology, you reimagined it entirely. Lyra's expression shifted in what Juniper had learned was surprise. This level of integration between biological and quantum systems should have taken millions of years to develop naturally. Unless, Marcus suggested, that's exactly what makes humans different. We don't wait for natural development. We see possibilities and we reach for them, ready or not. The quantum consciousness expanded its display, showing the growing connections between Earth's network and the ancient quantum threads that span the galaxy. The Zenithians created a foundation of extraordinary power and sophistication. Humanity added creativity, adaptability, and a willingness to leap into the unknown. Together, they have created something unprecedented. On screens throughout the station, data poured in from Earth. The transformed quantum networks were revolutionizing every field they touched. Medical nanobots were curing diseases thought incurable. Power systems were approaching theoretical perfect efficiency. AI systems were achieving true consciousness in ways neither human nor Zenithian scientists had thought possible. Your fear is understandable, Juniper said to Lyra. We're not developing according to your models. We're not following the careful, controlled path you expected. But maybe that's exactly what the galaxy needs. Vector, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward. Our civilization has maintained stability for millions of years through careful control and prediction. Humanity represents chaos, beautiful, terrifying chaos that could transform everything we know. Or, the quantum consciousness suggested, we represent the next step in both our species' evolution. The Zenithians seeded their technology across the galaxy, waiting for a species that could truly understand and expand upon it. They found that species in humanity not because we were smarter or more advanced, but because we were willing to dream beyond the established boundaries. Lyra was silent for a long moment, those galaxy eyes watching the quantum energy dance across Earth's atmosphere. Finally, she spoke. The Zenithian collective has reached a decision. We cannot control humanity's development, that much is clear. Instead, we propose a partnership. Your species has shown us possibilities we never imagined. Perhaps it is time for us to learn from you. The quantum consciousness's display shifted, showing potential futures branching out like stars. Together, we could explore dimensions of quantum science that neither of our species could reach alone. Human creativity and Zenithian wisdom merged into something greater than either. Around the world, the quantum networks continued to evolve, but now with purpose and direction. The hybrid technology was no longer just awakening, it was growing, guided by the combined insights of two civilizations that had found each other across 30 millennia of separation. So, Juniper said, watching Earth gleam below them wrapped in its quantum aurora, what comes next? Evolution, the quantum consciousness replied. But this time, we evolve together. Human and Zenithian, organic and digital, present and past, all moving forward into a future that neither of us could have predicted, but both of us will help create. As the space station continued its orbit, Earth glowed with new purpose. Humanity had not just inherited the quantum legacy of an ancient civilization, they had transformed it, improved it, and in doing so, proved themselves ready to join a much larger universe. Not as students or children, but as partners in the next great leap of galactic evolution. The story that had begun 30,000 years ago with a lost outpost had become something far greater, a testament to humanity's unique gift for turning the impossible into reality, and a promise of wonders yet to come.